What's up, guys? Ew. Ow. Ow. I cracked my thumb doing that. What's up, guys? I am back again this week. For the second time this week, actually, because as I promised in yesterday's video, I said that I was coming back today for another movie review. You're welcome. So yesterday's video, I talked about Pet Sematary, so if you do want to go and maybe see that movie, definitely go watch my review first, because I do talk a little bit about it. I give you my rating right off the bat, so you don't actually have to stay the whole video if you really don't want to. And I think I might do that for every movie review, just kind of talk a little bit about it, my initial thoughts about the movie, and then give it the rating, and then dive a bit deeper into all these things. You know, I'm always looking at how to expand my channel and how to improve on it and try out new things. So just let me know in the comments below if, you know, you like this kind of a setup where I talk a tiny bit about the movie and then give the rating and then kind of go deeper into it, because I know some of y'all don't really want to hear me ramble on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So this is what I'm going to try for a little bit, see if I like it, see if you guys like it, and if you do, and if I do, maybe I'll keep it. Otherwise, I might switch it up again. I am also working on some new intros, so hopefully I can get those done and looking fresh and good and fun. Thanks, James Charles. So let's just dive in, shall we? Shazam. I heard about this movie coming out at first, and I was like, ugh, DC movies. They've only had one really good one, and that was Wonder Woman, and I still stand by that that is the best DC movie ever made. It is so well done. The acting is phenomenal in that one, and I don't think any other DC movie is going to ever top it. I hope that statement will end up being wrong one day. Point being, I wasn't excited about seeing Shazam at first. Then I saw the trailers, and I was like, you know what? It looks kind of good. I'm giggling at the trailers. Let's give it a shot. Then I started hearing reviews for it, and they were good reviews. I'm like, oh, bitch. Maybe it's time to go and see this movie. So, not only did I go and see Pet Sematary on the Thursday, but I went to go and see Shazam on Friday. Bitch. It is really good. I loved it. It was funny. It had good action. It had a good storyline. Why am I doing this voice? I don't know. Point being, it was really well done. Acting was great. Characters were great. Action was great. Effects were great. And even like the super CG effects didn't look that 3D, and I was so happy with it. So, let's dive into my rating, and then we'll dive in deeper. My rating for Shazam sits at 80%. So go see it. You can click off the video if you want, and then go buy tickets right now. Good luck. It might be sold out. I don't know. Go watch it, because it is really good. Let's dive in a bit deeper and kind of extract it a little bit. We set off in the past to kind of set up a storyline that's going on. And there's this father and his two sons, and the older son and the father are very much dicks. Like, they hate their younger son. Why you had another kid, I don't know. And this kid goes to see this wizard to get Shazammed, but he can't be Shazammed because he's not pure of heart. He later ends up becoming the villain. That's not a spoiler. You know it right away. You can tell by the whole scenario. We meet Billy Batson. He's, you know, this kid. He's a foster kid. He's run away from all of the family he's been placed with. The social worker who, like, helps out all the foster kids is actually in the horror movie Lights Out, so it's connected that way somehow, magically. They're not even co-related in any way except for this one person, and that's how they That's how they connected a DC movie to a horror movie that had initially nothing to do with each other at all. Which, I don't get why. I think that might actually be my only complaint, is like, why did you have to like announce that connection? I guess that doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, he gets placed with another family. We meet, you know, all these other foster kids, and Billy's kind of like weary on kind of being with them because he just wants to find his real mother. And so he ends up beating up a bunch of bullies. He gets on a subway train, it freezes over, he goes to this new land, sees this wizard, and then becomes Zachary Levi's Shazam. It is such a fun movie to watch because of the connection that the main characters have with each other. So Zachary Levi and Jack Dylan Grazer, they have such good chemistry in this movie. They play off on each other, and you know, they just work so well together. They have all these quips going back and forth. They can, you know, give in slight jabs, and I feel like some of their things were a little bit improvised, which I'm kind of hoping they are, because some of them came off that way, and you could just totally see how they were able to just interact with each other so easily and comfortably, and it showed that on the screen, and it showed that they had like a good connection outside of the film, in the film as well. Same with Asher Angel as Billy Batson. It showed that he had a good chemistry with Jack as well, and although obviously it started off with him kind of like not wanting anything to do with him, they ended up growing to like each other, as every movie kind of like this does. And I thoroughly enjoyed seeing like the growth of Billy's character, going through figuring out, you know, how he is supposed to deal with these powers, how he has to overcome his shadowing of himself and trying to be like locked away from everyone instead of opening up to anyone and trusting and giving things a chance. And I also enjoyed watching Zachary Levi's Shazam character grow as well, because he doesn't because he still has the mindset of Billy Batson as a kid, but he's just full grown as a superhero, and he has no idea what his superpowers are, so he has to, you know, figure out, oh, well, can I fly? Can I run? Can I withstand bullets? Can I teleport? Can I read minds? And it's all trial and tribulation, trying to figure out what I can and what I cannot do. And they do this as well in a very comedic way, where Freddy is videotaping Shazam doing all of this stuff and then posting it up on YouTube. There's one thing at the end of the movie that I really, really enjoyed. I'm not going to say what it is. All I'm going to say is it involves a staff and a carnival. And I was so pleasantly surprised, because I went into this movie only expecting, you know, Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, Jack Dylan Grazer, and Mark Strong being in this movie as like the main characters, and they added a whole bunch of other characters right near the end that I had no idea were going to be in this movie, so I was pleasantly surprised to see this. I could have easily looked up the cast and been like, oh, this person's in it, and this person, and this person, that's cool, but I chose not to. I only choose to look at who's initially starring in it, like the top billing cast, and then kind of also base my decision on, do I want to see them in this role, in this movie, off of that. So I was surprised to see certain actors come in to this movie, because I was not expecting them to be there at all. So as I said, the effects were really, really good. The CGI that they had to use, you could obviously tell when and when it wasn't CGI, but it looked now, there's these monsters in this movie. Those, you know, are 100% CGI, and they don't look like they would be real per se. There's some scenes where they look more real than they actually are, but you know that they're not. what I'm talking about how you don't know when it's CGI or not is when it's mainly focused on Shazam and Mark Strong's villain character of Dr. Savannah. So those are the ones that I think were the best CGI because they did it so seamlessly that it didn't look like it was CGI. It actually looked like it was them doing things, and it really worked well for the movie. And as I said, the storyline was good. You see the growth of all these characters showing like where they came from and how they got to where they are. You see the struggles that all these people are dealing with. You see them overcoming all of these hurdles and obstacles in their way. And it is a fun, friendly family movie. Now, there is a bit of language in it. So if you don't want to hear your kids saying shit, don't bring them. Otherwise, go watch it. It was so good. The jokes were really funny. It had a good amount of humor in it, and it wasn't so much that it took away from the film either. The costumes were great. They had so much detail in his costume. I mean, obviously in comics, it's just like a solid red color. In this, you could see like texture all over, and the way that like the lightning bolt like lit up and his gauntlets lit up, it was great. And I liked as well how when he's like walking around in his costume as well, all like the civilians that he passes are kind of like looking at him like, why are you wearing this? Like, what's going on? Like, they know of Superman, they know of Batman, they know all of this, so you would think that they would be a little like accepting of this, but I guess if you're just a guy who's like walking around in a costume, you're kind of being like, why are you wearing this? So I did like that they kind of made fun of him for wearing this costume, either by glancing or literally directing their thoughts to him out loud. And I thought that that was a good, funny thing that they were doing in this movie as well. So yes, as I said, go see this movie. It's really good. It is the second best, because Wonder Woman still holds the first place. It is definitely the second best DC movie ever made. Really good. Go watch it. You will not be disappointed unless you don't like superhero movies at all, in which case, why are you going to see that movie, or why are you watching this? Otherwise, do go and watch it because it is really funny. It's very good. Storyline's great. Action is great. Effects are great. You're going to love it. I promise. So as I said, 80%, really well done, go. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. If you did, make sure you give that like button a hit. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I put out a new video. And make sure you leave some comments down below. Maybe I'll meet you down there in some of the chats. And don't forget to share. I'll see you next week because I have no more movies for this week. So I will see you next week with another movie review. Bye, guys.
My life is a party, my home is the club.